Hello everybody. I want to build off of those reaching exercises or those expansion exercises that I brought you through yesterday. Yesterday's were based on a hinge. Again, something that if we wanted to get people working on that hip hinge from a deadlift perspective, athletic postures, right? Our hips and our shoulders have to work together. I don't think we focus enough on what happens from a postural perspective, from a scapular perspective, with how our hips work. So this is another task, another reaching task that involves a lot of that expansion through our abs, through our core, and also reaching. I call these the layup reaches. So just like in basketball, if you were going up for a layup, and the scenario here is we're getting our opposite hip, scap, and glute to work together, as well as our hip flexor this time. So first thing, just stand next to the wall, reach as high as you can up on both your tiptoes, and just see how high you can reach. And then compare it to the other side. Reach on up, see how high you can get, and see if there's a big difference. It's amazing how many people can reach way high on one side, and they go to the other, and they've got no expansion on that side. And that can be the biggest reason why they have a shoulder problem. So I can reach up as high as I can with my right, and I can keep reaching and keep reaching and keep reaching, and just basically jam my shoulder, jam the glenohumeral joint up into itself, right? Basically the ball up into the socket. Or I can reach here, and I can get higher as long as I side bend the other way. So one of the big things that this exercise or this movement does, as I reach as high as I can with the one side, I want to allow my opposite shoulder to drop like a teeter-totter, and then try it again. So the more I reach right, I want to allow this side bending to occur, this lateral flexion through our rib cage. So many times people have an issue with their right shoulder because they don't have lateral flexion in that rib cage to the opposite side. It could also be the reason why they don't load a hip very well. If they don't have, again, that lateral flexion in running, hitting a golf club, hitting a golf ball, you name it. So this is a great way to get expansion on one side, lateral flexion on the other, and again, getting our scaps and glutes working together. So go through that reach, and again, comparing both sides, going back and forth. Once you're up there and hanging out, reach as high as you can. Make sure that this inside hip is coming up as high as you can. The higher you pull that hip, the more glute you're going to get working. So keep reaching up there. And now once I'm here, I can start to pulse, getting this right scap really turned on. Again, that postural component is huge to get this glute to do its job. Or maybe again, you've got a kicker and they're dealing with a hip flexor problem. Their hip flexor may be overworking for this glute not doing its job. Or this hip flexor may be working because this right scap isn't doing its job. So, again, a kicker, soccer player, football player, whatever it is, runner, right? They're dealing with hip flexor issues. Let's get that hip flexor working with that shoulder. Turn that shoulder on, because we tested and that shoulder turned out to be weak. So now we need to get that shoulder working. And now that hip flexor all of a sudden opens itself up. Same scenario, you get somebody, they're dealing with quad pulls all the time. Their quad's overworking for something. And maybe we test it out and then, wow, they've got a scap issue on that side, it's not doing its job. Or a glute on the opposite side. So again, the quad is overworking. So now we can reach on up. Hang out up there as I continue to reach. Now I'm going to go through these pulses at the hip. I can hold it on up there. Kick on out. Right, you're kicking a ball. Going for a run, maybe you got to kick somebody in the head. Whew. Not because you want to kick somebody in the head because you're mean, maybe you're an MMA guy, I don't know. Anyways, all I know is my glute, my hip flexor, and my same side shoulder, scapula, have to work together. So this is a great exercise to get them working together and also find out if there's any big discrepancies on your right side and your left side. Go after the discrepancies. See if you can identify what might not be working for you. Give it a whirl. Let me know how it goes. Man, my booty is on fire.